Hi, I'm Tiffany Eslick, the Content Director of Spinneys Media, and today I'm going to be chatting with Holly Sands, the Editorial Director of the TimeOut Group, Shruthi Nair from Arabian Business, and Tom Harvey, the Commercial Director at Spinneys, to talk about the current bulk buying situation and really, is there a need to panic or not?
So, Tom, thanks so much for joining us today. So first things first, customers are panic buying. Do you think there's any reason to start stocking up on food supplies?
No, is the simple answer to that. We know customers are panic buying, but we are as a business, as Spinneys, and actually as a wider retail and food supply chain network and operation within the UAE, we have got plenty of food, all the way coming through from freight that is inbound, that is currently on its way into the country, to what we've got stored in our warehouses and what we've got within our stores.
But people are buying in bulk. So what are the key items that people are picking up right now?
Well, at the moment, it's pretty much anything. There's no real sense or logic to what people are buying. We all are hearing things in the news about loo roll and how much people are buying enormous quantities of loo roll without any reason to do that. We are seeing people buy pretty much everything that they think they might need without any real sense of why they might actually need it.
Right, great. So just talking about what people are buying right now, there are arguments globally about, how there is a rise in the vegan revolution, especially with the conversations happening around coronavirus about how it started in Wuhan and the meat market, etc. Do you see the same trend here where people are buying more or opting for more vegan options?
We've seen over the last few months as the whole plant-based food revolution has really become very popular, that there has been a very significant increase in plant-based eating. In relation to the specific situation we're in now, we're not seeing that that's actually had any huge impact whatsoever. What we are seeing is that any customers who've got either a specific dietary need or there are specific dietary plans that they follow, whether that is for their physical needs or because of their emotional requirements in terms of veganism or whatever. All of those things we're seeing more significant increases in the volumes that people are buying. So it is plant-based food, but it's also things such as low sugar or sugar-free for people who are who are diabetic, or gluten-free products for people who've got maybe celiac or wheat intolerances. And I guess that's more about people who are saying, look, I've got a specific need. I need to absolutely make sure that the products I need for my own health and wellness are in plentiful supply. But there is not a problem with the supply of anything.
So is there anything that's currently out of stock that you're waiting to sort of get in and to replenish in the stores? If you walked into Spinneys, is there one specific product that's out of stock?
I think if you walk into any one of our stores on any one day, right now, yes, there probably will be some things that are out of stock. We know, because you're hearing it in the news around the world, that items such as hand sanitizer are in very high demand. But when I look at Spinneys overall as a group and look at hand sanitizer, we've got hand sanitizer in stores all of the time. We've got a lot more coming in to make sure that all of the stores remain stocked all of the time. But we are busy at the moment. We are seeing unprecedented levels of demand. And if you come and try and shop with us in the evening, towards the end of the day, when all of our deliveries have been made early morning and overnight, we may be out of stock of some items at that particular time on that particular day. But if you walk in the next morning, you'll almost certainly not have any sense that there's been panic buying going on, because all the shelves are really well stocked.
So are deliveries happening on a daily basis, sometimes twice a day, or how does that work?
Yeah, we've always had deliveries every day, but we've been increasing the number of deliveries to up to our maximum capacity. We still have to make sure that we're complying with the regulations, the legislation, and the health and safety the requirements for our staff in terms of how many hours our drivers can be working. So we've ramped up as far as we possibly can, and all of those stores are getting replenished every single day.
So you mentioned there, talking about people going into the shops in the evenings, we'll see maybe kind of reduction in the volume of stock. What are the best times for people to shop so we can avoid that really kind of quite stressful environment where there are lots of people, lots of trolleys, lots of queues, and kind of just a bit too much intensity?
Sure. Well, it's all changed a lot in the last few days. Actually, in the last couple of weeks, with some of the other rules that have been imposed. So traditionally, the busiest times of day for us would be just after the school run in the morning. Around lunchtime when people are coming in to grab something to eat in their office. And then we start to see another big lift after the schools would close. And then again, sort of 6, 7 o'clock in the evening after people have finished work in the office for the day. Yeah. So those would be the big areas normally. What we're seeing now is actually, because children aren't at school, because people are working from home a lot more, that actually there's not quite so many quiet periods in the day. We've got much more of a sort of a fairly flat trading profile through the day, but there are still people at work. My guys, we are doing our best to make sure that we're looking after everybody, so we are still in the office, and so nipping in after 6 or 7 o'clock at night. But really, the best time of the day in terms of when we're going to be absolutely full to bursting with everything we can possibly have is going to be first thing in the morning, so sort of 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
And do all your stores open that early?
Yes, they do, and some of them are 24 hours as well.
Okay.
But the other thing that people are also, we're mindful that some customers are thinking about is that they don't want to be shopping when everybody else is going in. So I say 7, 8 o'clock. I really would encourage not everybody to go in, because otherwise, everything we're trying to do in terms of being responsible citizens, in terms of the social distancing, we're going to create more problems.
And so from a sort of short term, you're saying everything's fine. If we're looking to medium and long term solutions, is everything still looking positive? Are you making those plans now to get in, future stocks?
Yeah, we are. I mean, I think we need to be really clear, because people are talking about crisis, and there is absolutely not a food supply crisis anywhere in the world. All of the media that we're consuming, whether we're reading or watching, they're talking about restrictions on movement of people. What they are not talking about is food shortages anywhere. The farmers are still in the fields every day working. The factories are still producing food. We are still moving food by freight internationally, whether that is by sea or by air. That is still underway. And as I've said in the past, that we've got plenty of food manufacturing capability here within the UAE as well. And we've all got a lot of stock in our warehouse.
But, sorry, just to interrupt you, there are stores in other places in the world that are reducing the number of items people can buy, not necessarily out of shortage, but out of fairness to other shoppers, to people who might not be able to get there as quickly as them, or, like we talked about, people kind of clearing out whole shelves of one product. Are there any plans to limit the number of items somebody can buy of one specific thing, so you can only buy 3 packets of toilet roll, for example?
At this stage, no, for a number of really quite important reasons. Firstly, we're not seeing on a widespread basis people buying enormous quantities in this country. We're trying to make a clear message and take a tone with our customers and with our staff that this is about what is socially acceptable, what is right for the community, and how we all need to behave and change some of our behaviours to make sure that we look after everybody. We're also mindful again about the health and wellness of our own staff and putting them in a position with a very demanding customer who has got very strong opinions on what they want to buy, and making sure that we don't create some of the potentially fractious and even conflict scenarios that we have seen shared in stores elsewhere.
Just coming on the back of what Holly just asked you, I have a very basic demand-supply question. Right now, there is panic buying happening, and that is a fact. So because or as a result of all of this panic buying, do you see the prices shooting up? And if the prices don't go up, how are you going to maintain the demand and supply then?
I have been very clear with all of my team that whilst economics would mean that some of the things that we're trying to buy that are in high demand, you would expect to see rises in prices. There is absolutely no need or for anything like that to happen. So we are seeing some increase in the cost of our freight. Mm-hmm. We've taken a very clear decision that is something that we as a business will absorb. We will not pass it on to customers. We are seeing some rather enterprising businesses phoning us up, offering us products that we're already buying from other people. They're saying they've got great quantities of us and then trying to sell them to us at vastly inflated prices. we don't work with those sorts of people. We don't work in an opportunistic way. That is not how we maintain the long-term loyalty of our customers and make sure that we continue to look after them. So as far as Spinneys goes, no, there are no price rises.
Thanks so much, Tom. We're all really feeling assured, so thanks for your time.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them on Instagram and Facebook in the comments section, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.